I forgot about it.
Jay Massey is a full-time real estate investor. He's an entrepreneur.
He also teaches people how to find deals, raise capital for real estate investments.
Meeting Jay Massey in person, you'd think he's just a regular guy. He's got jeans and a t-shirt on and a pair of sneakers. But he's built up a multi-million-dollar empire.
I hope you do have an empty notebook because it's going home filled.
Jay gives back so much value that I've never seen.
Now, at this moment, when I'm looking at the kitchen, things are going through my head.
You want to be friends with him, and he treats you like you're the only person in the room, even though it's for the benefit of everybody.
This is how, when you ask yourself, how does Jay do it? This is how.
He tells people that they have to take action, and they have to take action now. I took the action, and the results have paid off.
What happens when the marketplace understands who we are and how we go out there?
All right, everybody, how are you doing? Good morning. For those of you who have not met, my name is Jay. And here's what this in the month of August, we've been going live every day. So every day, 9 a.m.-ish, because, technical stuff. We've been going live with the intent of helping anyone ever become a bigger, better, badder entrepreneur. Now, specifically, we focus on short-term rentals. That's kind of what we do. And building cash flow. Today being Saturday, we actually go into well, just talking to some of the individuals that we've been working with, other operators across the country, so that you can ask them questions. So for those of you who are joining, feel free to start typing that in the chat right now, because we want you to hear from them what it's like, because maybe you're still on the other side thinking, hey, one day I would like to, one day it would be nice if. I wonder if I can actually become a bigger, better, badder version of myself. Is cash flow for me? Is wealth for me? Can those things absolutely be the thing that, well, can't work? And at the end of the day, the question becomes very simply, does it work, and will it work for me? Now, the individuals here, I don't know that they'll answer that for you specifically today, but at least it'll give you some additional insight. So if this is your first time here, do us a favor, go ahead and type new in the chat, NEW, because we're definitely going to want to welcome you as well. And what it comes down to is it's going to be fun. And for those of you who don't know, we still have our cards here, which is good because now we have other people who can also answer some of the questions. So when you type cash flow in the chat, if you're on Facebook, it's the green deck, and YouTube, it's over here on the red deck. We'll be able to get that in. So we'll answer the question, or sorry, we'll just pick up the cards, answer the questions, and kind of go from there. Now let's meet who we have with us today. We have, let me hit this, let me hit the button correct. There we go. Got it. So I have with me today Alicia Singleton, and then Dante. I just forgot Dante. I forgot your last name. My bad.
Cofield. It's not important.
It's right here. What's your last name, man?
Cofield.
I literally can't hear you now. Did he freeze? Yeah. Alicia, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Like, oh, ha. There you are. I forgot to turn your volume, your mic. Good Lord. Anyway, Dante and Alicia. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. This is how it happens. See now you're on this side and you're like, oh, this is how that stuff happens, because I do something to make sure that, something else doesn't happen, and then I forget. Anyway, how are you two doing so far today?
Awesome.
We're doing great.
Excellent. So what I would love to do is, as we get started, I would love for you to kind of introduce yourself, tell people specifically where you are geographically, because that'll give them some frame of reference, and some of the history as it relates to why short-term rentals and what it is that you are looking for short-term rentals to do for you. So, Alicia, can we start with you?
Sure. I live in Maryland. The area is known as the DMV. So that's the District of Columbia, Maryland, and Virginia. As far as short-term rentals go and what spurred me to do short-term rentals, my husband and I have had a real estate investment company for 4.5 years. And we've done tax lien sales, we've done wholesaling, but we never could get to the pinnacle that we wanted to get to because we either had a lack of money, which now I know is a lack of idea, I think, or we had a lack of knowledge. So we were looking for a venue to the dreams that we wanted to quickly and successfully. So that's why we chose short-term rentals.
Got it. Totally, completely understood. Thanks for sharing. Now, when you say chose short-term rentals, was there any other particular real estate strategy that you were hoping would be able to deliver as well?
The tax lien sales, they were good for us, but we never could acquire the large capital to make it a tremendous success for us. So, it just wasn't working the way we wanted to, and we were putting so much time and so much effort into it, and we weren't getting the returns that we wanted.
Okay, got it. So I think the thing that what I really wanted people to hear is that it wasn't like this is the first time you tried real estate, and there were many other things that you had considered previously. It just happened to be that the idea of short-term rentals lines up to meet the goal. It sounds like.
Yes, absolutely. I was searching on the internet, trying to learn the short-term, excuse me, not the short-term rental, but the real estate game, I guess you want to say. And I came across your picture. And
Okay.
years ago, and there was a caption there that you owned a cell phone tower.
Oh, yeah.
I told my husband, this brother and his wife own a cell phone tower. I have to look into him.
You're like, wait, what? Yeah.
Yeah, I followed you for a while, and you know, here I am.
Yeah. No, cell phone towers are great by far. And it was on the T-Mobile network, which was beautiful. So it was definitely interesting because when people found that out, because then I'd ask them, so who's your cell phone provider? Because and then they would, if they said T-Mobile, I would just say thank you. They're like, for what? Paying the bill, because otherwise that's how I got my rent. Because you paid T-Mobile, so it was definitely an interesting situation. Anyway, awesome. Let's get over to you, Dante, because we definitely want to hear from you as well. I'm curious, what is it about short-term rentals? Tell us a little bit about the history, locations, that type of thing.
Okay, well, I'm in Los Angeles. I prefer short-term rentals in Inglewood, but I was part of a real estate group that we was like, oh yeah, we're flipping houses, and go find a deal. We'll help you fund it, so on and so forth. I was like, okay, I found a deal. Hey, look at the numbers. He was like, oh yeah, we're not doing that anymore. We're doing short-term rentals. I'm like, thanks. What are those? I'm like, why not do long term? What's short term? I don't know what that is. It was like, oh, okay, it's more profitable, blah blah. I'm like, okay, well, okay, let's do that. I'll go learn about it. And it was funny. It was like, okay, we're having a meeting in Irvine, and Jay's coming. I'm like, wherever Jay is, I guess I'll go. I'm down to learn anything. Now you walked in. I was like, hey, that's Jay. Okay.
That's funny.
And then your wife walked in, and Latanya and her husband walked in. I was like, okay, this is going to be fun. So and you laid it out for us. I'm like, okay. And then the main thing was like, oh, you don't need a whole bunch of money to get in. You don't need $500,000 to get in.
Right.
Okay, good, because I don't have it. So let's go.
It's like, hey, I don't need that. And this is for me. Yeah. No, exactly. I hear you 100%, because for those of you who might not know, we're in California, the entry point for purchasing is different. But and this is also true in many other areas of the world and country, because I know that some of you, maybe if you're up in Canada, and I know parts of Australia are this way, UAE. The point is, we all know that real estate has benefits, but how can we get in? So I'm curious, what is it about short-term rentals, Dante, when you look at it, that goes, that gave you the inspiration to go, yeah, this fits. This really fits.
Oh, well, the fact that I could get paid today and not in 9 months was a big thing for me, because I'm like, well, my bills need to be paid now.
Right.
And I just had a big life change. I got bills today.
Yeah.
So
right.
I was like, I don't have time to buy a house, find a house, renovate a house, and then sell the house, which takes about 9 months to a year in LA.
Right.
Especially an amateur. So yeah, I was like, okay, let's do that. And plus, it was easier to find a house. It's easier to find rent than it is to find a house and get a person to sell it to you under market value, and then just to wholesale it.
Yeah,
so,
it's a lot of work for sure, and I definitely understand. Let's see. Am I the? Sorry, I see so for those of you hearing, yes, my team has been sending me messages about the microphone. That's why I'm using a different one. It should be better now. Let me know in the chat. Anyway, where we go? 1, 2, 1, 2. I was looking. I thought I saw some questions for you guys, so I was scrolling to see if I could find them real fast. All right, let's keep going. And get rid of that. Awesome. So now you've had an opportunity to, especially Alicia, I will, if you when you look at other real estate strategies or when you've gone out there, well, I'll say it this way. Most people consider real estate for a long time before they get started. You spoke to having done many different types of strategies, which says to me that somewhere real estate is something that you were told or taught or thought would bring you something. And you did something that I think I would consider to be unique. Most people don't keep trying multiple strategies, which then tells me that whatever it is that you're after, it's big, it's important.
Yes.
I'm curious to know what that might be.
Yes, absolutely. We want a short-term rental hotel, specifically in St. Thomas, but we want them all over the Caribbean.
Got it. And why the Caribbean?
You know, St. Thomas is like coming home to me.
Oh,
it's like my soul is there. Even though I was born and raised in Philly, West Philly, but when I go to St. Thomas, my soul is there. And actually, Martin and I were in St. Thomas September 2017 when Irma hit.
Oh, wow.
So our 7-day turned into 15 days because we were, on the island. But when they finally got a ship to come and pick us up, I was holding on to the door jambs with my fingers and toes because I didn't want to leave. So, Yep. So that's where I want to be.
So now you're just going to make it the permanent place.
Oh, yes.
I like it. I like that because that's actually part of how this whole hospitality idea was even planted in for myself and Poppy, because, well, she speaks multiple languages. I speak Starbucks and that's about it. So it comes down to that the idea of having all of our assets tied to one country was something that I was thinking about. And the easiest way to make sure that assets are tied to multiple different countries was, a strategy similar to this, which is something a number of real estate investors do. Now, when you're looking at building the portfolio or going through the process, what was that transition, if you will, that the change like? Has there been a change? Did you have to change any of the things, that the way you think, act, walk, talk? What you tell me, what's it like going through the process to find and get and become the operator?
Well, your program made the 360 difference in our business.
Okay.
Because you focus on the whole entrepreneur, not just, I'm going to teach you this. I'm only going to take you this far. And then your success is just up in the air. We invested in multiple, programs and things like that. And we were just running from one place to the next, never being the success that we wanted to be.
Yeah.
I had to take a step back and just get in a silent place. And you kept coming up over and over again.
Making it sound like I was stalking you or something. I'm just saying, be careful. Oh my God.
I think it was more answer to prayer, to be honest with you, Jay.
Okay.
And the short-term rental space is what we were looking for. 20 years ago in 2000, we started actually doing real estate back then. And we invested a large amount of money, and we were approved for I think it's called a quadplex, so a 4-apartment building. We had a construction loan. Everything was just great. And long story short, the loan officer wanted to meet us at the property. And when we got out the car, he refused to shake our hands. It was just a bad situation. It left us very bitter. And we just said, forget this. We'll start another business. So from that experience and from the tax lien experience and from the wholesaling experience, short-term rentals just fit. They fit our goals. They fit where we want to be, and we can do it very quickly because we're not spring chickens anymore. So
that's one way of looking at it. But from what I heard, black don't crack. So you fine. 20 for the 28th time, it doesn't even matter. So it's all good. It is all good.
All good.
Okay, so Dante, now you saw that they want you to answer a question, so I'm going to get that in a minute because I'm pretty fired up about that. Now,
I expected it.
That's good, but also because you both now have said quickly. When it comes to quickly, I don't want necessarily individuals thinking like it, get rich quick or anything, but you're meaning something. I would love for you to elaborate a little bit more on what you mean when you say quickly as it relates to short-term rentals, and because you also said getting paid today. I thought that was great.
Well, like you say all the time, what they're putting in the chat, cash flow. Like, I need a constant, consistent income. Right. Rather, I have to build it today or build it tomorrow. If I go build out 1 unit or 10 units, I can get paid off that basis monthly. I don't have to wait 9 months increments to get paid and use that pile of cash, as you say, and live off that until the next pile of cash come in.
Yeah. So then good. And it doesn't take it anywhere near as long as what most people think. Now, because Jeremy, this is great. I am so glad. Okay. So the question is very simply, have you ever had anything waxed? If so, what? That's really the question. I'm so glad that one is now done.
Those have poo cards on the cards.
I was like, maybe my car? Like,
yeah, right. I figured it was something like that. Yeah,
I was like, you see it? Like, no.
Yeah, no, you're good, man. You got off.
Waxed.
Yes, there you go. Yes, that would have. It wouldn't have been something though if he said like legs or something. That would have been like, okay, I just learned something about that. I think that would have been great. I think that would have been great.
It would be done.
I'm like,
yeah.
You never know. So, you did the same thing, Alicia. You mentioned quickly. You're mentioning speed in terms of time, and it sounds like, and I think what you're communicating is the time between like start to actually realizing some small piece of success, as opposed to it feeling like it's delayed. Am I close, or is there something else that you're trying to communicate in this process?
You actually hit the nail on the head. For example, tax liens could last between a year, some spaces in the nation, 3 years, before you either see a property that you would acquire or you get your money back from the money that you put up for the actual lien or the deed.
Yeah.
So in this space, you learn quickly, you acquire the units, and I've seen people within 24 hours of going live, they have, they have bookings. Right. I've never seen that before in this space. I'll just be totally frank. I've never seen that before in the real estate space. So that was very appealing to me.
Yeah, freaked me out too. I was like, wait, what? Because I remember where we were still standing in the very first unit. And because we were finishing the touches, the calendar was open, everything was there. No one had booked, and I didn't really understand the concept of instant book. So me, my wife, kids, we were all in the unit. And then all of a sudden, my phone goes off, and I'm just like, oh, look, we got one. They're coming right now. It became a whole different thing because it just was like, oh my gosh, this is really happening. And yeah, I totally got it. So there's a question from Lorraine. It says, how long have you guys been operators? I actually don't know that answer.
Well, to be totally honest with you, Dante, you're laughing because we spoke on yesterday.
Yeah.
So I don't have my first unit as of yet.
Okay.
However,
yes.
Through the network and your team, I was able to find an investor so that within the next 3 weeks, we will have our first 3. I'm claiming 3 units.
Perfect. So if I understand you correctly, what you're saying is when it comes to obviously we all know knowledge, time, money, and credit. You've invested so far in making sure that you have the correct knowledge. And now you got the time, but you were able to then find the money. So now you're going out there looking for the it sounds like 3 units, which is exciting. Is there a goal number for the rest? I mean, I'm just saying we got time. So how far are we going before 2020 over?
If I could do 3 a month, that would be September, October, November, December. 3 times 4 is 12, I think.
Yeah, that's right. No, I'm thinking I'm thinking about the speed of doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just I think you could average 3 a month more than do 3 a month. So just keep that in mind.
Okay.
I think that would work out. But yeah, absolutely. And that's the other thing I want everyone to hear is it doesn't have to be instant. It just has to be eventual to some, and that's exactly what it takes. What about you, Dante? Your turn.
Well, through the new book we're reading and the training that we're going through for negotiations, I was going to bring this up to you on Monday because it just came up yesterday. So I called a property manager, and basically used one of your techniques. And I was like, he got to the point where, okay, so how many do you want? I was like, let me have 6. He's like, well, I have 2 in Inglewood and 4 in Long Beach. I was like, give them to me. And we had the conversation, and he's supposed to come back Monday. And I was, like I said, I was going to bring that up to you Monday. So I'm probably about to get 6 units like next week.
Got it. Where are they again? You said Inglewood and
2 are in Inglewood, and the rest are in Long Beach. He might have more than the 4, but I only want 6 right now.
Got it. Okay. Got it. So let's talk about this because this is also very, very important. A lot of individuals experience resistance, hesitation, or challenges in getting quote unquote landlords to say yes and becoming in that transformation process what it takes to make that happen. You mentioned the book, you mentioned some transformation. I'm curious, what is different between the way that you were doing it and how you're doing it now that is resulting in conversations like that?
Well, a lot of things I say are different because you taught us better. I used to walk in with a different tone, different pitch, and I used to act a certain way, like, let me have 10 units. And they'd be like, what are you going to do? Like, well, I'm going to make money off them. Yeah. And they're like, well, give me some extra money too. I'm like, it's not how we operate. And it was just the way I speak to them are different. I show them that I'm solving their problem, not that I need you to make money. So it's a different conversation.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. Agreed. What about you, Alicia? Has there been a change in your approach? What is making the difference, I guess, for you to be raising capital and now in the process of finding some more locations?
The difference for me is twofold. One is where I was looking or where I was encouraged to look for capital. In the associations that I was in, we were encouraged to go to hard money lenders, where you have to give your kidney and like 60% and your left toe. And it's like, and then you have to put 20% down so you can have skin in the game, which I hate that phrase.
Right.
So that's where I was taught to look, and that wasn't profitable, or it didn't go anywhere. So approaching people, investors, with the knowledge that, like Dante said, this is going to be a benefit for you. That's sort of a whole new realm for me. So learning it here is just a totally different approach, as opposed to going into an association and standing in front, and I don't want to say begging for money, but convincing people that you are worthy, that your knowledge and things are worthy to partner with me. And
Right.
they rake you over the coals and say, go to the hard money lender. So
Absolutely. Totally understood. Agreed 1000%. Because understanding the value that you're bringing to the marketplace is paramount. For those of you watching, I'll give you a quick example of what I mean. Every one of you, if you can hear my voice, here's what I know to be true about you, regardless of your financial position, is that you have access to either yourself or through someone else. You have access to at least $1. Okay. So that I know. Here's what I also know is that compared to your access to at least $1, you know significantly less people who operate short-term rentals, who train people who operate short-term rentals, who are in a group of people who operate short-term rentals, who have done so across multiple cities, who have, where I'm going is that experience is what is missing in the marketplace. And there's an imbalance into the supply and demand equation, especially now that so much more money has been printed. It's a whole new world. So we have another question that says, this is perfect. I can't wait to hear your answer, Dante and Alicia. How do you divide profit with silent investors? I'm all ears. How do you do that?
Dante.
Okay, well,
youngest first.
Like, well, we don't. Sorry. I thought we was going in the cycle. My bad.
Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead.
We don't divide the profit. It's like their liability account. That's the debt services, but it depends on what the investor wants. Like some people want a certain percentage, or some people just want the tax benefit, or whatever they may want. Some people just want, hey, hold this for 2 years, and when I come back, I want that with some more. Okay, that's fine too. So it just depends on what the investors want. You solve their problem.
Alicia, is there anything you would say differently? Any different? Yes.
The mic's been dropped. You did an excellent job, Dante.
Yes. So yeah, and that's one of the things that a lot of individuals do, and you guys have heard me say, you have to diagnose first before you prescribe. That's what they're referring to, is because you don't know what an investor wants. You think you know. You've been told and taught, oh, this is what you have to do. And that's not true. They're a person. They're a human. They're doing their things for their reasons. And that's why they will or won't do something. And when you approach it from that direction, your success rate changes drastically. So this is good. And it looks like, let me see. There are some, Mary's excited about your 6 unit, or Dante's 6 units. Lorraine says, I need Dante's script. Don't worry, Lorraine. You've done what you need to do. It is one step. Let's see. What is this? It says, John is saying, good job. Dude has grown so much in the past few months. He's going to be unstoppable. Yes. Now, is John your coach? Because I don't actually know.
Well, I use John and Wendy for different things. They have different skill sets.
So and so for those of you wondering, what's happening is we have an accountability system where coaches work with individuals over time so that they can become, because that's, none of us are like born like, hey, I got it, ready to go. And it takes some time. I would love to hear in your guys' words. There's a lot of information out there when it comes to real estate specifically, right? Would you say that it's information that makes the difference, or has made the difference, or is it something else altogether entirely?
To be honest, I have a lot of programs, and not every mentor is willing to share their knowledge so that you can be successful. Some
hold on. What do you mean? I don't understand that.
Okay.
They're not willing to share? Didn't you just said you're saying two things that sound contradictory to me.
They do. And I was confused as well. Especially when you pay for their program.
Right.
But, some will tell you, especially if you're in their locale, that you're not competition. So I'm just being honest. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Totally honest. And I know.
Yeah, you can see me trying to process that. I know it's on my face. My wife tells me all the time, your face is very loud. I'm like, yes, honey, thank you. But sorry, go ahead. I'll try to stop interrupting, but I'm having this, there's this like strong cognitive dissonance, anger, like verb bubbling. Like, seriously? Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, if you ever come into my area, in the DMV area, I could take you to a couple of meetings.
Got it. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, you were saying not willing to share the knowledge, but go ahead.
Sorry, that would be fun to watch. To watch Jay go in and tell them. That would be
fly
fun.
on the wall. That would be so good. I mean, really, that would be really good. So it was refreshing to be able to talk to someone and be mentored by someone that is happy for you to be successful, to get to your success.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to put anybody on blast, but
no need for that.
No need for that. I think you understand what I'm saying, but not all mentorship is created equal. I will say that some will leave you just hanging. I mean, I need to raise capital. Okay, go ask them to take it out of their 401k. How do I do that? Well, maybe you call equity and just ask them. Well, I know that there's more of a process than that. And then you're just hanging there. You know how to go get tax liens, but where do I get the 50,000, the 100,000, the 150,000 to purchase the tax liens? Have no clue. Go put a second mortgage on your house or go do this. And it's like, wait a minute, hold on. So,
yeah.
That makes
what are you going to say, Dante? Go ahead.
Yeah, I've had an extremely similar experience. It was like, okay, well, yeah, here, give me half your life, give me your life savings, and we'll give you a video course. And then, like, well, I paid to be mentored by that guy because he's on stage. I want to talk to him. Well, you need an extra $100,000 to get into that program to talk to him. I'm like, if I had an extra $100,000, I wouldn't be asking to talk to him.
Exactly. I feel you, Dante. That's my point.
Yeah, I got it. And this program was so much different. I met Jay, like I saw you in person, so I was like, okay, he already answered every question I threw at him, even the ones where I made him mad about the iPhone stuff. But it was like he answers everything completely open and honest about anything you ask him, and everything.
Yeah, just be careful. Don't answer it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, so how do you do this? They give you exact script. Now call everybody on your phone.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And by that I mean now. Right? But let's talk about that, because I remember very vividly because that was a rubber meets the road real moment for you, I would say. And I was wondering, I was like, man, is he gonna do it? For everyone listening, what happened is on one of our calls, one of our sessions, Dante was stating that, hey, I need, or no. He said something about, hey, I got some landlords to say yes, but now I don't have the money I need for all of the units. So, and these were the words. You don't say this to me. So does that mean? So I think that means I need to delay this while I go get the money, right? And I'm like, no. He's like, but I don't have the money. Where's it going to come from? I was like, okay, I understand what the problem was. So why don't you tell everybody what happened? What was more importantly my response, but most importantly, what you did and what that was like, not only receiving that information, but then taking action on it.
That was funny. I can remember the words almost verbatim. It was like, okay, so you have a phone, right? Yeah, I have a phone. You have numbers in it, right? Like, yeah, I have numbers in it. It's like, okay, so you could call those people. Yes, I can. Okay, so this is what you do. You call the number. Don't care which number, all of them. And when I say all of them, I mean all of them. And you say, hi, Frank. You say something along the lines of, hi, Frank. Hi, I know I haven't spoken in a while, but I'm calling for two reasons. One is one to speak business, one to catch up. Which would you like to do first? It doesn't matter which one they do first. When they say business, you say, have you ever considered getting involved in real estate investing? Like, and then you go from there.
Yes. Yes. You're
and
like,
it was like everybody. I was like, yeah, everybody. So I was going through my phone. I'm going through the contacts. There's some people that don't like me, and some people I just talked to about this. They got upset because it was like, we just had this conversation. I was like, yeah, but now I got a better script. Of course, I didn't say that, but
yes. I got a better script. That's great.
And it was like some of these people I called, like some of my cousins I called. I was like, I know she's not interested. And she's like, yeah, actually, I've considered real estate investment. I was like, really? Why? You know?
Yes.
And it got really fun. Like some of my phone calls are so exciting. I called my best friend. Like I called my child's mom and my best friend. I practiced on them first because they were first to the phone.
Sure.
And I called them back. I was so excited. I had to tell them, like, this is what just happened. And from my wholesale, yes. And when I was wholesale, I still had numbers from real estate brokers and real estate agents in my phone. I was like, well, he said call everybody.
I did.
I was like, have you ever considered getting involved in real estate? I'm involved in real estate investing. Interesting. What are you doing?
Yes.
And okay, so have you ever considered? And we went through that, and they was way more interested. It was like, okay, well, since they're already exposed, yeah, it was fun.
Now, did you resolve the issue with money?
It was too many people with small amounts, so I'd have to make a syndicate. So that it did help, but it didn't solve it. Yeah. But I did find other solutions.
But you now know that you have more access to money than what you thought.
Definitely.
Like, a lot than what you thought. And that's the point. And because it's true for each and every one of us. And how many of those people in that process suddenly tell me more about what you're doing? Like they
a lot of people like we know you make money and you don't work for anybody, you don't have a job. We thought you was doing other stuff. I was like, no, I have a business.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so what do you do? And like a lot of people got more interested. I got to talk to more people, like even my family, about what I do. Because like my mother doesn't even know what my business actually consists of.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for my mom to actually believe that she like say like she knows, like, you know, like, she won't even. I still don't know what I'm doing because I'm her son. You know what I'm saying? I will, I guess. You know, it is. Okay. What about you though, Alicia? Have there been any moments in your where something that you were challenged with that you maybe then received some instruction on, but then it helped you were able to overcome in a different way? Did something like that ever happen, or has something like that happened for you? And if so, what is that?
You know, it is, Jay, and this might be far off the conversation. It might seem like it, but I think maybe a lot of women will understand this.
Okay.
So, I was raised to be an independent woman. You're strong when you do everything by yourself. You don't need any help. You have all of these things that you have to accomplish. And, you know, you're independent, you're strong, you know, and you can handle everything, everybody's problems, including your own. And that's the way I was raised. That to me means being a strong woman. But in doing so, you tend to get burnt out. And you said on one of the sessions that you will never be able to scale your business, and you will get burnt out if you don't get some help. You can't do everything on your own. That was an epiphany for me, because being raised to do everything on your own, meaning you're a strong woman, to hearing the reason why the businesses that you had before didn't scale is because you were doing everything on your own. You were the CEO, you were the secretary, you were the contract negotiator, you were the bookkeeper, you were the accountant, you were, we had a commercial cleaning business for 18 years, and we had, excuse me, about 20 employees. And we worked from dawn to dawn, and we were everything. And, you know, the burnout was just there. So we didn't have a diagnosis of that problem. We just thought, hey, we're business owners. This is what we do. And the business that we were in didn't scale to where we wanted to be CEOs, to just work on the business, like you said, instead of in the business. So for me, that was a life changer. That was a life changer. And to be able to let it go and say, okay, hire a bookkeeper, Alicia. And I'm like, what? No. I have my bag of receipts, you know, even though Excel gives me nosebleeds, I have my bag of receipts. You know, I have my longhand paperwork, and I got it because I'm a strong woman, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, that was me. So just hearing that gave me hope that, you know, you can scale this. Other people can do this. You know, Jay is there, and we hear his conversations with Della. I can have I can really have, is this for real? You know, I can work an hour or 2 hours on my business and have a life and not be crazy. Oh my gosh, you just don't know, Jay. That was a game changer for me. And, you know, some women will probably understand what I'm talking about. But that was a total game changer. So
I think oh, go ahead. What'd you say?
Oh yeah, we fully understand. Like when I met you in Irvine, you said that. You was like, yeah, I work on my business about an hour and a half a day. I was like, that'd be amazing. You mean I don't have to miss my daughter's games to go be at work? It's like, and I can still pay for stuff? Let's do that.
Too, please. Yeah, absolutely. Totally understood. But okay, now, because you guys are on the inside, you just freaked a lot of people out. It is normal for you to, because I mean, I say it, but most people are like, oh, that's just marketing speak, right? What you earn a month or in a year becomes monthly, and then that an hour a day. But you know, so they're challenged to believe that. My question is, on Tuesdays when Della is there, what have you learned? What have you witnessed? Because you're watching the thing happen in real time. Has that been helpful in some way, shape, or form?
That has been more inspirational. Like, it's like asking the CEO of Nike, how many shoes did we sell in Long Beach? He doesn't know. It's not his job to know. And watching you talk to Della is like, well, that's her job, not mine. Go tell so-and-so, do this, do that. Fix this, this, and that. Okay. Is that it? We're done? Okay, good. It's like, you give her a chief executive. At this point, you leave from chief everything officer to chief executive officer. You advise the executive to do their job. You pick them correctly, and you go on about your day. And yes, that's my daughter in the background.
I assumed, but that's it's all good.
And that's the great part about this. Like, okay, single dad, I need time to be with my child. It's like this business allows that.
Right. When done, structured properly, that's exactly what it should do.
Yes.
I'm curious. Is because you brought it up, what seeing you interact with the team and basically do my Report. How has that been helpful or not in some way, shape, or form?
My new mantra that I have gotten from you is, I don't know, that's not my job. And that's going to be my clarion call for at least a year.
Yeah.
So seeing it and watching you handle things, or watching you make other people be accountable to handle things, made a believer out of me.
Good.
Because I was a hard knock case. I have to do this. I have to have my hand on this. I have to do this. This has to be done. Da, da, da. I'm all over the place. And you saying, what about this? Well, I don't know. That's not my job. What about this? I don't know. That's not my job. Seeing it every Tuesday made a believer out of me. And that's where I want to be.
Got it.
That's where I want to be.
Awesome. Yes. For those of you who are wondering, well, go ahead, Dante.
That also helps with negotiation. Like they ask for your financials. Like, well, that's not my job. I can call my accountant, but it's not my job.
Right. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
If you like, I'll get on the phone now. You can ask her. She'll give you all the answers. Okay, no, it's not necessary. As long as you have it, she can have her send it to us. Okay. Now, moving on. Can I have the unit?
Hey, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to do this thing. Totally understood. Because for those of you wondering, what they're referring to is that on one day a week, what I do is I bring my actual short-term rental business, the team, the crew. They come in and we have literally our debrief, our meeting, or whatever you want to call it, and they get to hear it real time. So whether there was an emergency that happened or whatever happened, they get to hear it real time, see it real time, and so they see that ultimately where we're going, where we're helping them to get, this is how it should operate, so that they can just be reminded that it's not only is it possible or probable, but we're doing it. We are collecting them who are out there doing it. So Lorraine says that she fully understands the whole from the strong woman standpoint. So this is good. Oh, you got a question here. It sounds like Dante. So those friends on your phone must be wanting a percentage if they don't have enough to purchase. That's a good question, Jamila. What would you say to that, Dante?
Well, yeah. Well, a lot of times, like I have friends like, oh, well, we're around 30, so we're getting ready to buy houses for the first time. It's like, well, yeah, I want to buy a house in about 2 years. I'm like, okay, so where's that money sitting? In a savings account. It's like earning 0.002% interest. It's like, yeah. I was like, well, if it starts with a point, it's pointless, right?
Oh,
it's like, would you rather earn a better like, would you rather earn a return on that money while it sits there for 2 years? Like, yeah. Like, how much a return? I was like, anything's better than 0.002%, right? Yeah. So if I offered you 1 or 3%, wouldn't that be better? Yeah, that would be better because you're actually losing money at this point. Like, okay, well, yeah, we could talk about that. Let's meet. Okay, let's meet. And we discussed it from there. So it's not always they want a percentage. Some people just want to make money while their money's sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah, it's very interesting what we're not taught about what to do with capital. Oh my goodness! All right, so there's really thank you, Dante. I was going to say, could you let me put the back? It says, how can you only have to put in 2 hours? I knew this was coming when you guys brought it up. I was like, oh no, here we go. And not have crazy things happening like renters that snag people in trying to charge you with having indoor cameras, and then Airbnb setting you down, or someone that sneaks in 2 dogs to trying to say that there shouldn't be any extra cleaning, and because of the pandemic, it's gonna look okay. Got it. Those issues alone take hours, if not days, to deal with. Jamila, I love the fact that you have experience and that this hit you so hard right between the eyes, and that you're like, wait a minute, no, that ain't right. That is, I hear you.
Can I give a simple 1-word answer?
Yeah, by all means. Go ahead, Dante.
Systems. You need the systems in place. With the systems in place and the team in place, you won't have that problem. Sorry, Alicia, go ahead.
I just said preach. That's all. I just said preach.
Yeah, and
Systems.
I'm gonna talk to Jamila directly for a moment. Jamila, I understand exactly what you're saying, and you are 100% correct. Resolving those issues do take hours, but they don't have to be your physical hours. Somebody has to do it. It just doesn't have to be you. One of the most important things that most people who are self-employed or the small business owner, and this is why I hit this so many times, what we may not do is develop a way for the thing to still get done without us having to be the one to physically do it. We don't develop in standard operating procedures. We overlook those types of things because we're trying to just get to the money. We're going to hustle it done ourselves. And worse, we didn't start at the beginning so that we can actually build an SOP, because you can't build an SOP. You can't build. Sorry, when I say what I'm about to say, there's a person who's listening I'm going to hear about it. You can't build your marketing brand guide. You can't just say, hey, go make an ad. You have to give a guidelines of what's acceptable and how you want things done. This is how we do everything. What does that mean? That means I've spent months, literally months, training and documenting at the same time staff for the purpose of creating standard operating procedures as it relates to short-term rentals, so that I don't have to physically do, but someone else can. And then someone else can supervise that person. And then someone else can interface with Airbnb. Then someone else can interface with the landlord. Then someone else can interface with maintenance and all of the stuff. So yeah, you're 100% right. It's a lot. Now, for those of you who like the idea of what I'm saying and what everything that we're talking about, here's what I would encourage you to do. We will be going live again later today at around noon Pacific time. You want to go over to CashFlowDiary.com/learn live, where we're in the middle of our session where we are masterclass, where we are teaching these steps, right? So that you can go out there and make them yours. And if that's something you want more information about, if you want to get access to some of the videos that you've missed, you want to go there before the videos come down, because they will be coming down here shortly. Just go to CashFlowDiary.com/learn live, right? And this is just how we operate, and it is hard. And I get it, Jamila. It's hard. How do I do that if I've never seen it? And yeah, that's a great question. And that was the difference, or those types of things were the thing that made the difference for me, and which is how I ended up teaching people, because I realized that from our tragedy, my wife being unable to eat or drink, me being unable to walk and talk, squatting a bank-owned property, all the stuff, that we had experienced and overcome something unique, but we also overcame it in a unique way, right? And by building cash flow. And when I realized that, I was retired at 38, and it was really interesting. Like, okay, well, what am I going to do now? Because I didn't know, but it turns out I enjoy like nobody's business finding the Dantes and the Alicias, and I guess the Jamilas out there of the world, and helping them take their next step to believe something that they maybe in Alicia's case, to believe again than they did the first time. And that's what it comes down to. Go ahead, Dante. Look like you're about to say something. Look like you.
Oh no, I was talking to my daughter. Okay. I was talking to my daughter. It's Daddy Daughter Day. It's Saturday. It's the great thing about CEO. I get to have a Daddy Daughter Day.
Right. Because, and what's funny about you saying that, Dante, one of the original things that got on my nerves about corporate America was because I remember it clearly. My oldest daughter got sick at school, and I single father, same situation. And it was my weekend, my time. So the school called me saying, "Hey, she's sick. You got to come get her." And I had to go. There wasn't like an option. It wasn't like I can't leave her there. I have to go.
Yep.
The looks I got, the attitude, I'm just like, it's my child that's sick. Why on earth are you looking at me cross-eyed like I did something wrong? I don't understand. Why am I getting this attitude over this? And
Exactly.
I'm like, no, this is not. This will not. I don't know what I'm going through, but that ain't it. And yeah, stuff like that I couldn't handle. I just couldn't handle. So it was
like seriously. Like exactly, like my whole world stops. If I gotta leave this job and you fire me, okay, so what? I'll go find something else. This little girl comes first. Like,
yeah, totally understand.
You can be replaced, i.e., the boss, the job, the career. Like she can't. I was like, let's avoid my situation. Let's just build a business myself.
That's exactly what someone told me once. It's like, you couldn't find a job, so you just made one.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes. Right. I couldn't. So that's what I did. So I'm sorry. What'd you say, Alicia?
I totally agree. I remember leaving my son many times at a nurse's lounge while I was, at the hospital because he wasn't feeling good or something came up and I couldn't leave. So I understand completely, but building the business that you want instead of setting for a business that runs you makes a total difference. So
yeah, no, totally understood. So what it comes down to is, and I like the word you said, want.
Yep.
Right? Because a lot of individuals from time to time, they will focus on the money. Like, which one is going to make the most money? Well, how do I make what? And I don't think it's about that. I think, you can build anything you want. Might as well build something you like at the end of the day. So
yes. It gives you freedom.
That was something profound you taught me.
What's that?
Sorry, Alicia.
No.
That was something profound you taught us. Like, money is just a tool to get to what you want to have.
Yeah,
because if you're stuck on an island with $100 billion, it means nothing if you can't eat or buy something or anything else. Like, the money itself means nothing. It's what it does.
Absolutely. And just to drive the point home further, Jamila, the other thing is, when you have an excellent system, when you can do the following. If I added today, like literally today, 50 more locations, 50, my workload day to day wouldn't change. Now, there would be obviously changes in the company, but my workload would not change because all of the infrastructure is built. All of the things are there so that we can grow as aggressively as we need to be. And right now is a time for exactly that. Anyway, any last things you guys want? I'm looking through the chat for any additional questions. Any last things either of you want to say, share thoughts about the business, anything that's been great for you, just anything at all. We'll start with Alicia.
Just to cap it off, again, my husband and I have been in full-time business since 2000. And we had other little businesses besides the full-time business. And we never had a business that we wanted. We had a business that would make us money. We didn't know how to structure a business that we wanted, i.e., you have free time, you're not working, your fingers to the bone just for money. You have free time to travel and spend with family and you enjoy what you're doing. This is giving us the opportunity to do this after 20, 30 years of having businesses that gave us the freedom from jobs, but we were slaves to our business in order to make money. So that's refreshing. I'm looking forward to it. And it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, right. You don't have me singing up in here in a minute. You keep making references like that. Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely. And then Dante, what about you? Any last thoughts?
Well, yeah. Well, really, to everybody else that's been trying for a long time and hasn't reached any success, fell forward, fell frequently, fell forward, and it's crazy. I was watching Lilo and Stitch with my daughter, and it's like his experiment 626, like meaning he failed the experiment that the scientists that made him failed 625 times. Okay, I can't quit until I fail at least 625 times. Keep going, and just keep going, keep moving forward. And that's what I did. I've been failing for about 2 years, and fail your way to success. Even Michael Jordan said it, like, fail your way to success. Just keep going.
When you say 2 years, you haven't been here. What do you mean failing for 2 years?
I've been failing in real estate for 2 years. I've been trying to wholesale. I've been trying to flip houses. I've been trying to do a lot. And through that process of failing, I finally met you to where I can see the light to success. Like, I'm literally on the doorstep knocking now. First, it was just down the road somewhere. Who knows where it is? Yeah. Now I'm knocking on the door. It's right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I literally failed until I found you.
Wow. We'll see if we can make it easier. Good Lord. Awesome. I hear you. Thank you very much. I appreciate what you guys are putting forth, the effort that you are putting in. I'm glad to hear the results that you are generating, because again, when it comes down to it, it doesn't have to be necessarily quick or overnight. It's just you. And this is why I try to tell people, it's like, look, if you can just see progress, if you can get in love with the process, you'll be okay, because you can just keep taking that next step and moving forward. So you guys are doing that. I'm encouraged by it, because it's literally why I get up. Because as you know, if I wasn't doing this, you see how long it takes me to do the other thing. I would not know what I'd be doing. So it is what it is. Nonetheless, I definitely appreciate you guys. Thank you for being who you are and representing for each of your own families, your neighborhoods, because I know that there are people who are looking at you, watching you, who want to be you, quite honestly. And that encourages me, because I know over time, as you persevere, you're inspiring them to do so. Thank you for taking it on.
Definitely. Thanks, Jay.
All right. So we will talk to you guys later. Dante, you go give that girl a hug. She's been waiting. She wants to hug her daddy. That is exactly what's up. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Take care.
Okay, everybody. So as you can see, you hear how this is how we work. You've been able to, if you've been following us this particular month, you've been able to see, to experience to various different degrees exactly what it's kind of like, or at least hear it in their words, not mine. Because so that we're clear, it's not like I rehearse. I literally don't know what they're gonna say because I just don't know, and it's more fun for me that way. But at the same time, here's what I do know, is that every person you have heard from this month has been undergoing a transformation process that takes time. It doesn't happen instantly. It doesn't happen overnight, it doesn't happen over one night. It does happen overnight, just over many nights. And I don't know how long it might be for you, and I don't know where you are in the stage of your business, but here's what I do know. I do know that improvement is possible. I do know that you were capable. I do know that there's greatness inside of you that is dying to come out. And having that there is something that we hope you're willing to believe in. And like I said, believe again, because the only two things that are necessary are for you to believe and to build. And when you connect with the reasons for you to believe and to build, and then you are given the correct and proper tools, and you learn to labor under correct knowledge, aka develop your own luck, the world changes. And in essence, what you're hearing, or you've heard the process of individuals creating literally their own economy, even though right now that it may not be as stable as you'd like. And quite honestly, that's exactly what happened to myself and my wife back in 07 and 08, when everything, the Great Recession, when things were falling apart. We were literally having our highest income, best years that we had ever experienced because of the systems and the processes and the things that we had learned and how we were applying them. Because there was never anyone who there wasn't anyone lining up to say, yeah, this is for you. We had to decide that it was for ourselves and begin to take the necessary actions each and every day, repeatedly, high levels of accountability, voluntarily, because at any moment, anyone would gladly accept less from us. And the same is true for you. However, I will not accept less from you. We will not. Cashflow Diary is here to pull that greatness out of you. That's exactly what we're after. We're looking for those individuals who have a desire to be bigger, better, badder. And as they would say in the Matrix, red or blue pill. One of those you've already taken, and you know it's down that road. We will be back tomorrow, 9 a.m., which is exciting because you're going to learn more because August is not done, right? And even though 2020 has had year-long months, it definitely hasn't been. August feels like, at least to me, it went by incredibly quick. But make sure that you come back. If you like the information that you've received today, by all means, hit that like button, especially those of you on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, as well as the bell. And if you want to join us again at 12 noon, what you want to do is you want to go to cashflowdiary.com/learn live. Because we're going to continue with the individuals that have been present, helping them take their next steps when it comes to building building their short-term rental business. And very specifically, let me look at we have an outline agenda and I'll let you know what today's topic is, if you will, so that if you do want to attend, you can kind of know what the agenda looks like. All right. So what's today? Saturday. There it is. Okay, got it. So it is this is perfect. So for today, we're going to be talking about the 3 things to look for in a short-term rental property. So if that's something that you have always wondered, how on earth do I figure out where to go to get a short-term rental? Here's what I can tell you. By the time you're done with us just in today's information, not only will you know the city, neighborhood, but you'll know the exact street that you need to begin building your short-term rental loan. So if that's something that you'd like to know, feel free. Come join us. cashflowdiary.com/learn live. And we also have some special guests there too. Ladies and gentlemen, as I've always said, and I say again, it's fun for me to talk to you. I thank you for the time that you have donated, given. Hopefully we have been able to produce a return. And I look forward to talking to you soon. Until next time.